unable to get a message to Catherine in fits. I wish she'd show the real GDP growth being negative as I demonstrate, how small caps are twice as overpriced as the rest of the market, and how Trump is a big fraud, not doing anything to help us in regards to the Federal Reserve or in the manipulated up stock market he flip-flopped on his campaign stands. See http://trump-fraud.blogspot.com/ Just how could a person who complained about the low interest rates under Obama providing a fake economy once the same? How could a person complain about the stock market being a big fat ugly bubble and then once as president, promotes the market to be an even bigger, fatter, and uglier bubble? Trump doesn't care about the poor and middle class. He doesn't care how people are getting destroyed by not getting fair bank interest. Trump doesn't care about diligent investors who are compelled to short sell the big fat ugly bubble being valuations are about 4 times too high for large and mid cap stocks and about 8 times too high for small cap stocks. Everything of late is to make certain the wealthy grab as much as the wealth as possible and the hell with everyone else. And so why does Catherine Fitz puts out either misinformation or disinformation in regards to Trump doing anything to help us? I believe this is a case of being blinded, perhaps having a party affiliation and has dug a mental trench to prevent facts from being digested. Biggest problem is the widening wealth divide and that includes the overpaid government employees. I push for the concept of every government employee announcing their gross annual salary in each letter written, in the beginning of each phone call, and at the beginning of each contact in person so the public knows how overpaid they are and to then keep on top of the runaway salaries, the high cost of education for which much can be attributed to overpaid government employees, overpaid corporate executives. I show in the book, Thoughtful Living, how smaller shareholders could have a greater voice if only we push for a particular reform in proxy voting, the high cost of health care. Speaking of simply making certain there is funding available for the non-wealthy to afford does not address the underlying problem, the high cost of housing and for which raising the minimum wage does not address the problem. And generally the high cost of living when the wealthy are on the take with ownership of commercial real estate and more. I provide the solutions and I could double or triple the size of the site, http://proposedsolutions.blogspot.com/ in going into more detail and addressing many more topics if everyone who actually cares and thinks deeply to understand the underlying problems to then devise real solutions would be taken seriously by both elected leaders and the public in general. I am saddened by those who have the big voices are not doing enough exposing the fraud and showing what must be done. Sure, many of these persons do a few things but not enough and some of the things spoken of are totally misplaced. They certainly are making lots of money by being part of the system. It's like their greed comes number 1 and their service comes number 2. Let's get the real solutions out in the public domain and not just be out there to make a load of money. Let's get the wealth divide compressed so we could actually get on the path towards economic prosperity.